Hello, travelers. A little bit of a weird angle today. I am back in Tokyo and in my hotel. I just kind of wanted to reflect on the day. So today I dropped off the vehicle and everything turned out fine as far as like the little scuff that I had mentioned in my last chat. So yeah, the handover went pretty well. Went over like basically anything that maybe needed to be replenished, and chatted a little bit with the rental guy and everything. So yeah, it went well, and then so we parted ways, and I walked around a little bit. I can't remember if I mentioned it in my last video, but one of my cousins is here with some of their friends, and so we found out that we have some overlapping time here. So I gave her a call just to see, where they were at and if they wanted to meet up later and what have you. And they did. They were just trying to get situated in their hotel and situate their plans and stuff like that. So we hung up, and then I started walking around and just enjoying the scenery / also trying to find a place to get some lunch. And I ran back into the rental guy, and he's like, "Whoa, hey." So we walked together a little bit, and he's like, "Are you hungry? Are you looking for a place to eat?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, I'm starving." So he recommended this fried chicken place, and it was actually really, really good. So great interaction there. And then he just suggested that I walk down kind of Meguro Street, because that's where a lot of the cherry blossoms are, and just different sights to see and whatever. So I walked around for a good hour and a half. So it ate up a good amount of time because I couldn't check in for about that same amount of time. So walked around and finally came back to the hotel and got situated and got back in contact with my cousin to see what the plan was, and we ended up going out. I just got back, but we ended up going to eat for dinner, and then we kind of just walked around and, had some really good conversations with, one of her friends. So it was just really, really nice. Talked a lot about how my trip went, and how I kind of just decided to go for it as far as doing this trip, and not really giving up when I got here, and got super emotional, and was just feeling all the feels, and feeling very uncertain here and everything, and how things weren't what I had expected and all that. But I persevered, and here I am, and now we're down to the last couple days of me being here in Japan, and it's it's kind of sinking in that yeah, you did a big thing, and although things didn't go as expected, you did this, and this is an experience that you're going to be able to look back on and be like, hey, you did a thing, you know? So that, and then also just chatted about how, you know, we're walking around right now. It's about like 10:30 to 11 p.m. And also just kind of as we were walking around, you know, what I would consider, you know, too late to be walking around in the United States, you know, especially like if I was solo and as a woman, like just how different the feel is here. Like it's very peaceful and I don't feel threatened. Like I came back to the hotel pretty much by myself and walking the streets at night, and I did not feel any sense of like urgency to get to the hotel or any danger or anything like that I would in the United States or, you know, anywhere else that I've visited. So it's just such a calm and peaceful feeling here. And we talked about how I think that would be one of the things that we miss the most because, again, we can't get that back home, you know? So it's nice to, again, as a female, a solo female, being able to just walk around at night without feeling any sort of threat. That's like, I just feel peaceful, you know? I don't know how to explain it without you, 1, being a woman, 2, being solo, and 3, being here, and I guess 4, experiencing that kind of like sense of fear, you know, walking around late at night. So definitely that was a good realization that, yeah, that's definitely going to be something I miss. And it's unfortunate that it is that way back home, that I can't feel the same security that I do here. So yeah. And then, so tomorrow is going to be a relatively early morning. I've got a Airbnb experience where I'm going to get to put on a kimono and walk around and get my picture taken and all that. And then tomorrow afternoon will probably just be chill and whatever. But yeah, again, I kind of just wanted to reflect on the feeling. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about as well is, so I was obviously here in Tokyo when I first arrived, and again, if you've been watching all the videos, you'll know that my first few days were, again, very emotional. I pretty much like cried every morning and contemplated, you know, going back home early and everything like I was talking about earlier. But it feels different now that I'm back in Tokyo. Like, I just have a different like appreciation for this city, and it's still, you know, it's still too much city, and like I wouldn't want to live here because I like, you know, being out in nature and stuff like that. But I don't know, I was able to kind of, and maybe it's because I was so stressed in the first few days that I didn't really have the chance to like really appreciate my surroundings. But today I was able to kind of have that appreciation. Again, appreciating the fact that I could walk late at night on my own. Appreciate the people around me and like observing them and what they're doing and the conversations that they're having with the people around them and the connections that they're making with, again, the people that they're meeting or the people around them and things like that. It was just a very different and wholesome experience, and I hope that I'll remember that, for my lifetime, because it was just very special. It's been a very peaceful day, and I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful that I'm here and that I did this again. And yeah, it's a different world. And it makes me want more for the United States. It wants me to have more peace for the United States, to let, again, women be able to walk alone at night, or, walk next to a guy like these two people that are walking here without having to worry. And I'm not... Oh, my goodness. I want to make this clear, I'm not being naive or ignorant to the fact that I'm sure there are bad people here in Japan and that there are shitty things that go on here, so I'm not trying to glorify Japan in any sense, but the United States is not everything. It's not like this grand place that, I feel like, not to get political, but like our politicians and things make it out to be. Like there's more to the world that you can see and experience, and there's different ways that people live, and they do things differently here in Japan, and they're somehow making it and getting through and living, and they seem to have, I don't know, some of the people seem to have like just a better appreciation for life and the work that they do, and again, maybe that's just my interpretation as an outsider, but I feel like the United States can learn from that, not just from Japan, but from other countries that do things differently, and that, again, the United States is not this always right country. We definitely don't have things figured out. We definitely have a lot that can be improved upon, and yeah. Anyways, I didn't mean for it to get very like political and philosophical and whatever, but I guess that's just how my mind works anyways. So yeah, I'll kind of end it there and just live your life, people. Like, we are here on this rock that's floating in space, which is surrounded by galaxies and bigger things out here. The fact that we are here on this planet is an amazing thing. And also, like, live your life, because our existence here is such a short blip in the grand scheme of things. And why are you gonna live your life in any other way that is going to make you unhappy. Like, why are you not living your life in the best way for your personal self? You know, why aren't you doing the things that you want to do? Why, you know, just why? And I know there's restrictions. Money is unfortunately a big factor in a lot of it, but there's ways that you can make your dreams happen. You know what I mean? Like, I, by all means, took me 5 years of saving and a lifetime of, or my lifetime of wanting to come to Japan, and here I am, you know. Somehow I made my little dream happen. So don't let anything stop you, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, you know. What's the worst that could happen in trying to accomplish what will make you happy? So yeah, I'll leave it on that deep thought. Have a good whatever time zone you're in, and we'll see you soon.